Okay. Hood Tour Season 3, Episode 35. Got this thing fixed at, called the bike shop after I got done at Family Dollar. Said, bike needs, shifting's out, something's going on. Think it's just out, didn't know that the hanger was bent. And cocktail. There we go. Because I took the camera mount off, so the hanger is bent. Got that straightened out and sorted. And I'll call the bike shop and explain, what was going on. Like nothing. So I think it might have been something to do with, me bumping it on the rider. I don't know. So the hanger is bent, and like I keep saying, I called the bike shop, explain what was going on. The shifting's all being weird. It's between gears 1 through 1 to 3rd. It's skipping like it's, so if I'm in 1 to 3rd, it's skipping like it wants to switch into another gear on its own, but it's not doing nothing, and it keeps jumping off of first gear, jumping from first gear off the back of the cassette into the spokes. I said that, and then I think it's like between 4th and 5th. I told the chick lady I was talking to, I don't really remember what gears, but it's, I think, between 4th and 5th, and maybe like 1 or 2 other gears that I'd shift once to go from one gear to the next to go up the cassette. It'd take a little while, so then if I hit the button again to go up another gear, it'll finally go, and then I downshift 1 gear to be where I want. She's like, okay. So she made a note of it, because I called because Dad brought it in for me. And so I called, had them make note of everything that I'm want fixed. And I told him that, I asked, is it okay if my dad drops off, being that it's my bike? And she's like, yeah, who's it for? I said, it's going to be for Cole Johnson. The number's going to be 920, whatever my number is. Obviously our area code for Green Bay is 920, but I'm not giving out my number. I'm not that dumb. Which, granted, yeah, I've done it before, talking to people, but then I ended up getting bit up the ass. So She's like, okay. And she's like, well, he can just drop it off and we can get it done whenever. I said, well, that's the thing. I need the bike back today. She's like, that's fine. I said, oh, it's only because I am running short on time. I need the fucking bike. You know, I didn't swear. I need the bike back because I'm going out of town and the bike's coming with me. And I don't have the time to go pick it back up, you know, because I don't know if they're, you know, like 2 weeks out, a week out, whatever. You know, it's not like I have another, you know, which granted I could probably just use Dad's bike, but you know, but I don't have another bike to do long distances on. You know, like I said, I could use Dad's bike to go down to like Farland Park where I'm going now, or up to Quick Trip for lunch or whatever. But then I can't go anywhere to anywhere to just, let's say to use the bathroom real fucking quick or whatever. Because I'd have to be watching that bike, religiously. I want to hit that so bad, but I'm not destroying tires again. Not right now. If I know that the tires I have to replace them, then I'll roll over something to, because I don't care. But right now, being that these tires are only like 2 to 3 days old, or whatever it is, so like I said, I'd have to watch Dad's bike fucking religiously, because it's not my bike and I don't want to lose this bike. I've always said, ever since everything started happening with the green bike, my luck has turned to shit with the fat tires. Ever since I snapped the axle on the green fat tire, that's where my luck went to shit. I was in and out of the goddamn bike shop every month. Because shifting's weird, or I blow through a fucking cassette or a chain or whatever. And then I was like, I'm done spending fucking money on this bike. I told Dad I'm done. I'm eating the green one. And then he ended up finding the blue one off fucking Lost Dolphin, not too far off there. And that's when I found out we had a sanitarium in Green Bay. Well, it's more of like the Pier area, but still Green Bay. It was used for treating, used for people with tuberculosis, which I think is no longer, I don't think it's no longer a thing. I don't know. and then it got shut down, and it was used for like whatever else for a little while, and then it got permanently shut down. It was shut down for good. A lot of people here today already. Well, one guy's city by the looks of it. I'm gonna go back, and when I go back, I may put fucking pants on. I didn't really. Yeah, I should have looked at the fucking weather right before I got dressed. You know, I may just slip my pants on over my shoes. As weird as it sounds. You know, so I found something out yesterday too, because I had to stop at work before coming home, or before going to get Keegan or whatever from work, because I wanted my card for if I ordered food, which I ended up just DoorDashing Chinese food.